Hi everyone. I just want to talk today about the Australian actor Yael Stone and the allegations that appeared this week on the 7:30 report and in the New York Times about the months of insidious harassment that she endured while performing alongside Geoffrey Rush on stage in 2011. Now, among those allegations are the following: that Rush almost immediately began sending her a series of inappropriate and sexualized text messages dressed up in what she called highfalutin language; that Rush invaded her personal space in their shared dressing room, including requesting that she help remove his sweaty costume, and once crawling underneath the dressing table to sleep next to her while she napped between performances; that he once stripped off his clothes and danced naked in front of her without her permission; and perhaps most egregiously, that he held a shaving mirror over a shower cubicle to spy on her while she was showering inside. Now, it should go without saying that, of course, I believe Stone. Despite popular opinion, fame and money are rarely the rewards for making such allegations. But adding weight to it is the testimony of friends and family who remember Stone reporting these things to them after she met Rush and began working with him in 2011. Stone's diary entries from that time also correlate with the allegations. Last year, she sent Rush an email outlining her discomfort at his hands, hoping it might start a dialogue that would lead him to recognise the impact of his behaviour. He didn't respond. Instead, he told the New York Times, "Clearly Yael has been upset on occasion by the spirited enthusiasm I generally bring to my work. I sincerely and deeply regret if I've caused her any distress. This most certainly has never been my intention." Yes, spirited enthusiasm. Now, Stone was 25 years old and relatively unknown when she was cast alongside Rush in 2011. He was 59, with a considerable career in the industry, an Academy Award, and the measurable power of someone whose status as national artistic treasure guarantees to put bums on seats in theatres. As Stone told the New York Times, "There was no part of my brain considering speaking to anyone in any official capacity. This was a huge star," she said. "What were they going to do? Fire Geoffrey and keep me?" Now, there's a lot of hand-wringing and paranoia about the impact of Me Too. Claims that it's going too far and that good men's lives are being ruined are of course obnoxious and unsupported by evidence, but they make for a convenient rebuttal to those who believe men have a responsibility to change their behaviour and to cease hiding behind power and privilege in their interactions with the women in their orbit who have significantly less of both of those. Stone, for her part, has articulated these complexities with grace, courage, and immense dignity. She told Lee Sales, "I would add that consent is very complicated and almost impossible in a dynamic where the power is so drastically imbalanced. And I would say in any working environment where there is that imbalance of power, the subordinate doesn't have a great opportunity for expressing themselves freely. So the onus is on the more powerful person not to put the subordinate in that position. But all too frequently, the people who hold the least power in these situations, who are most often women, are held accountable later on for failing to appropriately deal with or stand up to those who hold the most power, who are most often men. That it's these women who have to jeopardise their careers and reputations when they've done nothing wrong, because they implicitly understand and have been proven to be right by women who've gone before them, that there are rarely consequences for men whose careers and reputations are considered important." And there's another element to this too, and to why women stay silent. And it's touched on by Stone in her recollection of the fallout from Rush, allegedly, spying on her in the shower. From the New York Times, Ms. Stone herself does not remember screaming. Indeed, she laughed at the idea that she would have risked upsetting Mr. Rush in any way. "I said some words to the effect of, 'Bugger off, Geoffrey.' I was walking a very delicate line where I needed to manage these uncomfortable moments, but never, never offend him." This response is not always gendered. It's ignorance of power dynamics that leads people to think extricating yourself from these situations is as simple as being firm and just walking away. After all, how often do you think men laugh along uncomfortably when their workplace superiors are being sexist or bullying them? Speaking out against the people who control our incomes is bloody hard. Preserving the egos of people with more power than us is something many of us learn early on. When Louis C.K. was forced to admit to the long-standing allegations against him, I wrote, "Women might unwillingly stay in rooms with men committing egregious or sordid acts of abuse for reasons related to their own shock or fear. But one reason we definitely stay in those rooms is to preserve the male ego. We have spent our whole lives learning not to embarrass men, and our education has been so effective that not even them repeatedly embarrassing us seems to be able to shake those lessons off. I've been in similar situations. I've encouraged certain dynamics because I wasn't sure how to say no. Like Stone, I've also held on to shame for this because how could I not have known better? But this shame isn't for the young and powerless to bear. It is not ours. Stone was 25. Rush was 59. It wasn't her responsibility to ensure her workplace was safe for her. It wasn't her responsibility to ensure she didn't confuse Rush. He was an adult twice her age. He knew better, and he exploited the power imbalance despite that. Women are not the gatekeepers of men's behaviour. We might play along sometimes. That doesn't mean we like it. And it sure as hell doesn't mean we deserve it.